A rack of lamb is an elegant and popular menu item in fine dining restaurants. According to research studies done for the American Lamb Board, more than 75% of fine dining operators menu lamb, and, well, rack of lamb seems to be the most popular cut menued. American rack of lamb is noted for its large ribeyes and mild yet distinctive flavor. That's because, well, domestically raised sheep are often finished on a grain diet. And we can see a clear size comparison here of an imported rack of lamb versus a domestic rack of lamb. If you could take this over to the side, please. Thank you. Now, chefs may request that their suppliers provide the racks already Frenched to specifications that they decide on, or they may French the racks in-house, as I'm going to show you today. Frenching is simply the removal of at least 1.5 inches of meat and fat from the bone ends of a rib roast or rib chops. The lean meat and some of the fat used, of course, can later be used for grinding to make flavorful lamb patties or lamb sausages. In this instance, to begin, we're going to start by grabbing the shoulder blade and with my other hand holding the fat on top of the ribeye and peel that back. We'll set aside this cap for later to trim through for edible product to grind. Now here, this portion looks kind of awkward. We'll come back to that after we're finished Frenching the rib bones. Now to begin, I'm going to take and look at the ribeye, and I'm going to decide on my measurement. Now, depending on the operation or chef, he may decide to go more classical presentation and cut basically where the fat comes to a point at about 1 to 1.5 inches above the ribeye. Some chefs prefer to go all the way to the ribeye for more dramatic bone appearance. Today, we're going to do a more classical presentation. We're going to leave a little bit more fat on than exposing it all the way down, as some chefs may do. So I'm going to take my measurement from the ribeye up, and I like to use where the fat comes to a point as a guide. Make an incision there, and then come to the other side, look, take my measurement again, and then from there I can simply draw the lines to meet them. Also, I want to come back through again and go down in between each rib bone. This will help in allowing me to remove the fat and membrane a little bit easier. At this point, we'll turn it over. We can clearly see where my knife came through. We're going to use that as a guide, cut across and down in. Now today, I'm going to show you two methods of removing the meat and fat away from the bones. The first way, we're going to get right on top of the center of each rib bone and cut down and kind of peel back some of that membrane. And again. And again. Now the second method, rather than cutting down the center of each rib bone, we're going to cut in between each rib bone, like so. As such. To begin, by utilizing our hands, we're going to have to use a little bit of strength. To begin with, our fingers are going to pull away the meat and membrane from the rib bone. Now I want to take caution because these bone edges are sharp and I may slice my finger, so I want to take extra caution in doing that. Once I get it started as such, then simply take my thumb and hook it underneath and push down. Again, taking caution not to slice my finger on the tip of the rib bone. And pull that away. And of course there's a little bit of lean meat and solid fat in there. Again, I can pick through later for grind. Of course now on this side I'll have to come back through with my knife to additionally scrape to get all those bones nice and clean. If I were to leave all those fragments on during the cooking process, they would brown, turn black, and well, it wouldn't make a nice appearance. This second method seems to be a little easier. I'll use a piece of butcher's twine. Just simply get underneath, bring the string down to where I made my first incisions. Tie it off, grab a good hold, and pull back just like a lawnmower. This, by doing it with the twine method, this saves me a little time in that I won't have to come back through with a knife to scrape. Or if I do, it'll be minuscule at best. Now, taking my knife, and you could do this with the cutting edge or the back edge. By utilizing the back edge, we won't dull our knife blade. For finer detail portions, I may use this cutting edge just to get into the unique crevices of the natural shape of the bone. And again, I want to cut away rather than down towards that beautiful flat edge I've got. As a final step, I'm going to consider fat trim. In this instance, I'm going to lightly shave to make a nice uniform, even amount all the way through for great presentation purposes. And again, some chefs may choose to go all the way down, removing all the fat and even a little small strip of silver skin, or leave some fat on. Again, I think fat in the cooking process will help aid in a flavorful finished product. As a final step, we want to check the underside to make sure that there's no feather bones or that any elastin is present. If there were, we'd want to remove those simply by using the tip or point of our knife. Lastly, I'll simply take a paper towel to further wipe that bone clean for a great visual finished product. If you would, Greg, please grab the tray underneath to show other options of what you can do with a quality American rack of lamb that has been Frenched. We can tie it together for a wonderful tableside crown roast presentation. We could do double chops, great for grilling or broiling, as well as single French rib chops. The versatility is endless. You can roast the entire rack or cut into single or double chops for grilling and enjoying.